Good evening, all the viewers. Welcome to Four Anglers, the digital platform that keeps fishing alive. It's Wednesday night, so we are back with a Saltwater edition with Tish Yelland and a lovely young lady that came through the junior ranks that is a protea angler at this stage. Welcome to you, Cara and Tish.
Thank you.
Thank you, Van, and thank you to everyone for watching the show. I know you can't be on the beach, so I know we have lots of anglers. If you see me looking down, it's not because I'm losing consciousness or falling asleep. It's because I'm looking at notes, because it's the only way the old woman remembers stuff. And we have been put on the clock. Van thought it's very clever to put two females on the clock, so we'll see how that one works. So, yeah.
Well, Tish, you have got the viewers' attention, and you can go. Let's hear what Cara is about.
Okay, Cara, first thing first, because I know you for, not long in your time, but long in my time. So how old were you when you actually started fishing?
So when I first started fishing, I was 10. I was non-competitive, and then competitive from about the age of 12. So I was fishing with my dad. At 10, used to tag along to all the common venues and everything, and then slowly I convinced him that I could fish competition. Started off with my little coffee grinder and rod, which I could barely throw. Then started with my multiplier, which I could throw even less. And then moved up and went on to competitive at about 12.
And at what age did you first fish for KZN?
I was selected in 2010 for the 2011 junior nationals, so I was 13 when I fished my first nationals.
What was the first time that you were selected to compete in an international tournament?
That was also 2011, so I was 14 when I fished in my first international in Italy.
And what? Okay, so that was a FIPS M tournament.
Yes, FIPS M World Game.
Part of it, and you were the only female in the junior team, I think.
Yes, so I was the only female at the nationals, and all the boys were asking why I was there and why I'm not at the ladies' nationals. And I landed up on the beach next to a long line of boys after that. Asked my manager that question, and pulled out that little raggy. I know it's quite small for most of the raggies, but it was only one. It was one of 4 raggies caught at nationals. So, along with my blue skates and a few other fish, I landed myself up 5th in my first nationals and selected for the team to go to Italy.
That is absolutely marvelous, and that's a raggy is a raggy. So, and especially if there's only 4 caught in the whole tournament, because the tournaments are 3 days normally.
Yes.
Cara Cowan, if you could choose a favorite spot where you could fish on all these beaches, because you've now, if I can explain to the viewers, we fish a different venue every year, so we tend to travel around the country. And if you could choose a favorite spot out of any of those ones, which beach would it be? Where would you go?
Well, I think just in general, Strathspar. Sure, so many different places to choose there, but I think definitely Straits. I know it's a common answer, but it's where I've had my most memories and caught some of my nicest fish.
That's where you learned how to do some serious wading as well, I believe.
Yes, almost drowned a couple of times there, but that's fine, because I'm still around.
And when you fish a competition, do you have a favorite bait that you use?
A favorite bait? Well, considering I'm still competing, I can't really give away those secrets. I know my other fellow competitors are watching me, so no, I'm joking. It would probably have to be I love making a little sardine and chocolate bait. I mean, it's so versatile. Can catch your Blu-rays, your Sandies, anything on it, really.
That cobby there, where was that caught, and what bait did you use for that one that we just saw?
I'm not too sure. I can't remember. I'm sure it was a little thin chocolate bait with the ink smashed into it. I'm not too sure which year that was caught, but yeah, that carb I probably would have used a little 3 tassel with chocolate ink smashed into it.
Can I ask that first bite that you said was your favorite?
Yes.
can I ask you to, after the show, to prepare us some, when you're back on the beach again, to prepare
Yes.
a little bait like that and send it in so that we can put it on our platform and show the world what Cara's favorite bait look like.
Yeah, sure. I'm
Good.
hopefully going to be back on the beach this weekend, if that's legal.
So we hope. Well,
Otherwise, I'll still be on the beach. No, I'm joking.
If you have Cara is not going to give you that real bait. She's going to make another one, Vanna, because like she said, she doesn't want to show the other ladies before she goes into a tournament. I know this child. If you have
I'll share it.
that's the characteristic of a great angler is sharing. So
Yes.
the more you share, the more you put yourself under pressure, the better you perform.
if you have a tournament that you can describe, I mean, where you were literally like the underdogs, which one would it be? Tell us about that.
Myself or the team?
Your whole team?
Okay. So that would have been in Langebaan. Can't remember exactly the year, 2014 or 2015. And we're literally lying stone last. I included was personally lying stone last, as well as 43rd. I'd never forget, because I'd caught a few small fish, but on the first day of the nationals, I'd lost 2 cow sharks. It was my first time ever fishing for them in Varkenvlei, and I'd lost 2 cow sharks, and I was beside myself. The next day, I only caught small little lessers, and so I was lying last by a long shot. And then on the third day, we went in there with a whole game plan of how we're going to scratch to try climb up one position. And our managers went down to feel the water, felt that it was cold, changed our whole goal for the day. They were like, no, Cara is going on to the Thunderreet and Varkenvlei. No, that's not the right place. What did they call it?
Yeah, you went to the end
out
there.
to that reef, or the west coast will know what I'm talking about. I'm sure most people know what I'm talking about. I've just gone blank now what the name is. And went out there. A few of my other teammates went into the one bay for other stuff. And I landed up getting 4 cow sharks that day. No one else got as many, I don't think. I think the most caught by another angler were about 2. And we had a few other fish from the team. And combined with that, we climbed our way up to 2nd. And I came, I want to say 2nd as well, but I don't know. No, I don't want to lie to the viewers. I was definitely in the top 5 for that nationals after those 4 cow sharks. So from our team being last and me being last, I think it was a good comeback.
And I know I didn't even say that, we would ever talk about this, but just as a funny story, because we always have them when we're fishing. Tell us, at that tournament, I think it was that same tournament, tell us about the cow shark and the boot in his mouth. Remember that?
Oh yeah. So one of my friends at the tournament was pulling her cow shark out, and there's another lady standing a bit closer in, obviously a bit scared to wade out onto the reef, because it was quite a wade. It was very, very taxing, physically taxing, and very deep. So to anyone who's been nervous about swimming or sharks, that wade wasn't for you. So this lady was standing a bit closer in, and my other fellow competitor was bringing in her cow shark, and she started shouting to this other lady that's closer in, be careful, my shark, my shark. Anyways, it went for her foot and actually got her gumboots. She got her foot out of her gumboots, and the shark was landed with the gumboots in its mouth. Obviously, with those cow teeth shark, to get a gumboots stuck in there is quite easy. So the photo was taken with the gumboot was removed, and it was released back safely.
Guys, you must catch the fish, not kick the fish.
Yeah.
Those cow shark, nappy shark, it is one of those sharks that can turn on itself, and they have the most horrific teeth. We have had so many anglers that has been bitten by cow sharks because they think if they grab it by the tail, they can, handle the shark, and they turn like this, and it's game over. Cara, tell me, so if you could give advice to any person, any junior, any angler actually out there that would now like to get involved in competitive angling, what would you, because I'm sure you've learned your lessons over the years, and one tends to fall, stand up again. What advice would you be giving to juniors?
I would just say never give up on your dream. if you set a goal, make sure that you work towards that goal before anything else. Work towards your goal, make sure you achieve it, and then once you achieved your goal, set a higher goal and work towards that. And that's what I've done over the years. I knew that I wanted to eventually land up ranked first over 3 years in the senior ladies division, and I worked towards that for about 4 years before I achieved it. There was many times where I came close and then fell short, and you can't get despondent. You have to make sure that you keep on working towards that goal. And then I suppose to any anglers, new anglers, old anglers fishing in a nationals or an international, I suppose, with your nationals, don't give up. Don't give up on the second day just because you're lying last. If you're going into the third day lying last, don't give up. You don't ever give up until it's over, because I'm known for it at nationals. They call me the comeback queen, and that's because I always land up managing to land up in the top 5 on the last day. So it's not over until it's over, and just don't give up. I mean, even in your last 10 minutes, I remember this year at the ladies nationals, I wasn't having a great nationals, and it's quite difficult fishing, and I just found myself in the wrong spots, or on the right spots, but at the wrong time. I was fighting right until the end. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a positive outcome. It was still quite a bad nationals, but don't give up. You can't let your mind slip into that negative state, because once you do, it's game over. So keep your mind positive and strong till the end.
You caught a ragged shark during the one ladies nationals that I was covering, and
yes.
That is when I always say that when you do something good to others, it comes back to you in some way. You actually put your rod in the rod spike because Mariette Tinky went on with a fish, and you put your rod in the go and assist another angler land her fish. And then while you were helping, and when you went back, you went on. Tell us about that. How did that go for you?
So one of my best friends in fishing, Mariette, she had a bit of a raggy knock, and we were like, oh, how exciting. There hadn't been a raggy. We're fishing Jeffries. There hadn't been a raggy yet. And we were like, no, there's no management around. There's just the two of us for quite a bit on the beach. I said, don't worry. If you get him, I'll help you land him. She was like, thank you. Thank you. So anyway, she got pulled flat. She was on, and she was like, no, with the bite she had, she thinks it's a decent one. And raggies, they can often just swim in straight and then only, turn at the end or split your baits, whatever. So put my rod on the spike, ready to go. And it turned out to be a huge lesser. Sandy for everyone else. So it was a big sandy, but not the raggy we were hoping for. So anyways, pulled him out, gave it to her manager, who had then run down the beach, because we're in a raggy spot. So he obviously thought it was a raggy as well. And then picked my rod back up, and within 3 minutes I was on with my raggy.
Beautiful fish. I think we have a photograph of that one as well. And then if you lastly, if you could, before Vanna takes over, because we are running short, lastly, if you could, what was your most memorable fight?
Well, the raggy was definitely one of them, because that also pulled me out of my lower position and put me first. But I mean, my favorite would definitely be the year before, was my 53 kg duck bowl. It was also on the last day, in the last half an hour. You hear those miracle stories. I think this was it. I was doing quite badly in the competition the first 2 days. Not badly, but I mean, I wasn't anywhere near the top, and I mean, that's where I preferably like to be. And I'd gone into the third day only having about 4 or 5 other fish. Last day, I got put on a hole, which worked out for me. I got a few smooth hounds, and no, this wasn't last year, sorry, this was the year before, in Mossel Bay. And so I got a few fish before that, and then in the last half an hour was a tough nationals. I was running up and down the beach, and so I was sitting next to my other friend Melissa Durant, and I threw in a whole chocker, and she threw in a bait next to me, and we're sitting talking. I know you never sit at a nationals, but I can't even explain the level of exhaustion after after this nationals, probably one of my worst in 10 years that I've been fishing competitively. And we're sitting on the beach, you know how you kneel, and we're holding the rod. Well, she was holding her rod, I was holding my rod, and all of a sudden I just got pulled flat. And it's definitely one of the hardest fights I've ever had, one of the most stressful fights I've ever had, because I knew I needed this fish very, very badly. I knew our team needed the fish, the team more than me, because after my few other sharks, I'd already climbed my way up to a decent position, but I knew the team desperately needed this fish to take gold. Yeah, so that was one of the best fights that I've had in terms of power of the fish, how I fought it. And I remember one lady coming up to me afterwards and saying, I was watching you from down the beach, and I knew that the only way that fish was going to get out was if it was Cara Cowan fighting it. So that was a bit of a proud moment for me. And yeah, I landed up getting it out, and it was the biggest fish for the tournament, and pushed our team straight up to first. And yeah, also left me, I think, third or second for the tournament.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for talking to me, but I know Vanna has a couple of questions. He does this too. Yeah, you're going to be...
No,
Okay.
it's fine. It's so interesting to listen to Cara. She's just got so much energy and the willpower to finish off a tournament. And I think that is great. I think I can understand just from where I sit and listen to all of this why they call you the comeback queen.
Thank you. Yeah.
She never gives up. I must say that's the one thing. I mean, this she has faced so many challenges in her life, and she absolutely, just doesn't give up. And that's the one thing I can say about this child of mine. But I think we might even have to bring her on another time, because I know she has lots of more fishing stories that you can talk about.
Yeah, and I'd like to get a little bit technical with her as well in a couple of techniques. But I've just got one or two questions. Cara, the type of fishing that we have on our coastline versus what you get at a world championship in Italy or wherever is significantly different. How do you deal with that change and adapting to that type and style and different viewpoint of fishing?
So I think my first thing is your headspace. I'm a big believer in, if your head's not right, you're not gonna perform. And so I think just changing your mindset in terms of going from big fish, heavy tackle. Well, it might be light for us here, but it's still way too heavy for overseas. So changing your mindset of, I'm going to be using the smallest hooks, the thinnest line, and it's going to be okay. I'm still going to get my fish out. Changing that mindset is a big thing first. And after that, just doing research on the area, finding out exactly what kind of equipment you're in for. And I mean, it's changing from your normal rods to much longer rods. You're using your thicker diameter line here to a much thinner, much thinner. I mean, we go down to 0.20 sometimes, and I mean, that's like dental floss. And yeah, just changing over to that much lighter tackle. And I mean, you can practice your casting here, but I mean, you can never really prepare for what you're gonna catch over there, because it's so different. I mean, I know my first time I went to Italy, FIPS M practicing was like unheard of. I remember going down to the beach with Tish a couple of times just to do pendulum casting and stuff like that. But I mean, other than that, we couldn't really prepare for the species that we're going to catch over in Italy. Once I got there, I had to go even lighter. But yeah, Tish made me sit and do about 1,000 traces. I'm not even joking. It was about a solid 400 traces before I landed up in Italy. Sat tying hooks, took it all over tying traces, and I've still got so many because she made me sit every day and tie them. But yeah, just changing over in terms of tackle is quite difficult. And then only recently in the past few years, have we actually started practicing for FIPS M here, and we found that Durban, or KZN specifically, actually helps you prepare in terms of species, because we do catch a lot of species that are the same size and give the same kind of fight as overseas. So that's prepared us a lot more, and I mean, that's been an incredible establishments, because now we go over a lot more prepared.
That's great, and it's always good to be able to, for a great angler, to change their headspace. Cara, thank you for having a nice chat to us. Tish, thank you for co-hosting again. It was great having you ladies on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be on the show.
A nice evening to everybody.
Well, that's it to the viewers. Thank you for joining us tonight. And from our side, until next Wednesday for Saltwater evening again, hang in there. It looks like we're going to go fishing this week. If everything can be sorted, then we go. So just remember, you are awesome. Cheers.